If you're looking for the Flyers to take a big swing at number 6, swings don't come much bigger than Roger McQueen in more ways than one. McQueen is huge. 6'5" center with serious skill, a combination that every NHL team wants. The problem? Well, let's just say his injury history has teams, understandably, a little bit on edge. But if it proves unfounded, a team could get Roger McQueen, a potential core piece for any championship contender, way later than he probably should have went in the draft. So let's go into the strengths of Roger McQueen, and we'll start out with the most obvious one, the size. You can't teach size, and McQueen is 6'5". He will remain 6'5" for the rest of his playing career. That's a strength that manifests itself in a lot of ways. Reach, leverage, the ability to battle in front of the net and not have to worry about being bullied. His size also makes him a near certainty to stick down the middle, which isn't necessarily a certainty for a lot of the other guys at the top of the draft projected to be centers. There's a chance that some of those guys might have to move over to wing. NHL coaches, NHL scouts, they are not going to move a 6-foot guy who can play center over to the wing. He's going to stick down the middle, and that does add some certainty to his projection, especially for a team like the Flyers, who really want to get a center at the top of this draft. But McQueen isn't just big. He also has really, really good hands, really good playmaking ability. It's especially noticeable in his work around the net. He can do quick maneuvers with the puck with his quick hands to fool goalies and get around defenders. Look, McQueen may be 6'5", but he's got the hands and the puck skills of a guy who's 5'10". Then there's that playmaking ability and the hockey IQ. I wouldn't say McQueen is an elite passer on the level of maybe a James Hagens or even a Jake O'Brien, but he's a darn good one. He can find his teammates for quality chances, and he sees the ice really well. I also like McQueen's decision-making, both with and without the puck. A lot of times, big guys, they lean on their size, they lean on their physicality, they lean on their raw tools. McQueen's a pretty smart player. You see him lifting sticks, you see him taking good routes to pucks. He thinks the game and sees the game at a high level, and that's really impressive for a guy with his tools. And finally, there's just the plausible upside. Because McQueen has these physical tools, because he's 6'5", because he has the puck skills and the hands, the upside is through the roof. He could be a 1C if it all comes together. When he starts to fill out, when he really learns how to take full advantage of his size advantage over everyone, and that's really exciting at number 6 overall. So why isn't McQueen a slam dunk top 5, top 2, top 3 pick in this draft? Well, let's get to the back injury. The McQueen only played in 20 games this season with Brandon in the WHL because of mostly a back issue. Now, originally, it was diagnosed as a bulging disc. Eventually, McQueen says his doctors determined it was actually a spinal fracture. Now, that might not sound great, but in McQueen's mind, it's a good thing because the spinal fracture is healed, it's fixed, and it won't recur. That's what he told teams at the Combine. That's what he told NHL podcasts at the Combine. That's the message he wants to get out there, that he will be fine and this won't recur. But let's be honest, back injuries are tricky. They can recur, especially when you're 6'5" and you're putting a lot of strain on that back. Look at Caden Lidstrom. He was last year's 4th overall pick, had some back issues leading up to the draft, convinced Columbus to take him 4th overall, and then Lidstrom missed basically the entire 2024-2025 season. That's the risk you take with McQueen. Then there's also concerns about his development and how this season may have negatively impacted it. Again, he only played 20 games. This was a big year for Roger McQueen's development, and instead it was just kind of a wash. Did it maybe hurt his upside? We're not talking about a guy who thus far in his junior career has incredible production. 2 seasons ago, he had 51 points in 53 games. That's good, but not great. This year, 20 points in 17 games. Again, good, but not necessarily top 5, top 10 pick good. With McQueen, you're betting on what he might become, not what he's already done from a raw production standpoint, and that does add risk, even beyond the injury. Then you add in the fact that he's already old for his draft year, just raises the question of, despite the fact that he's missed time, despite the fact that he's big and he's got this great set of tools, just how much developmental runway does he really have left? And then finally, as you might expect from a 6'5" player, there are some concerns about skating and pace. He's actually quite good in a straight line once he gets going. He's a good puck carrier, good zone entry guy, but his edges, his agility, not the best. He can round off his turns. He doesn't necessarily have the greatest first step. He also needs to play faster, which again, that's the case for a lot of juniors guys, but it could help to explain a little bit why the production at the WHL level hasn't been amazing thus far. He needs to make decisions faster, make plays faster, and stop gliding as much. Look, it's not hard to dream on Roger McQueen's plausible upside. A 6'5" center with great hands, with skill, with the ability to finish, with the ability to find teammates. This is a guy you watch, and at his best, he looks like a potential NHL first-line center. But the risks, they're real too. The back injuries could recur. He could deal with other injuries due to his size. He also might never have the offensive breakout that you think he's destined to have because of those tools. He's yet to have it so far. No guarantee it's ever going to happen. Look, if McQueen does hit, though, we're talking about a 6'5" first-line center and exactly the type of guy the Flyers are hoping they can unearth with the 6th overall pick.